the Akashic Record and the memories we have written in the soul of when we have expressed one way, the suffering we may have experienced, the exile we may have experienced, how we came back, and that this residue has affected why we were born at this time and how we're expressing in this time.
When it comes to the Akashic Record, it is a recording from the perspective of the planet. The planet is what gives you anchorage for your soul to project in, so you can bring your light body DNA, which has been a part of millions of other planets before this, and has copies of Akashic Records from other planets that it's bringing itself with. So when we incarnate here and become part of this planet as an anchored soul, we begin a new experience here. And this experience is through the sacred neutral perspective of the planet, who's offering you a space. When we as human beings incarnate and reincarnate, incarnate and reincarnate, we don't remember our previous lives now. There was a time in our history where we did remember some of our percentage of our previous lives. And there are other worlds that we lived in before Earth where we were entitled to 10, 20, or 50% of our past lives. Some of those rules bleed through each time we pass on and each time we wake up. If we pass on and we go and have a life review, that's a full life review and not a reincarnation life review, which is partial, other aspects of other worlds of ourself can make it into that life review before we're brought back into the cycle. And then those extra parts are what can possibly make it through the forgetting of the birth canal. This is why a lot of people can have a familiarity to Atlantis, Lemuria, Rome, Egypt, Mark Antony, Cleopatra, whatever the subject is, how we can have a familiarity with it. When it comes to the specific of this world's Akashic Record, we have a record that reaches out to hundreds of thousands of other worlds because we've spread our DNA there, and we've brought our record into the astral world of those other planets, and other planets have brought their record into our astral world. So there's an organic Akashic Record, which is held by the crystalline structure of the planet that's around the heart core of the planet in the center. And since we are constantly an expanding or contracting world, if this little circle is the heart, all of the crystalline subject around that heart within several miles is the Akashic Record. And as new migrations of souls come, the newer records are in the center and the older records are on the outside. So when one wants to go see the records, they start from the newest migration and work backwards, even though it's a sphere of omnidirectional presence. So when I observe it, everything's omnidirectional and it's instantaneous attachment to the string of time, and then I can calculate time based off of this perception. So our Akashic Record is this neutral perspective, is the observance, and it's ultimately how we as human beings return to the neutral observer. So we see ourselves in action, so we see ourselves literally recording our own history. And when we see ourselves recording our own history, we can trigger soul-based alchemy to deprogram ourselves. And the Akashic Record was, as teachings, began to be eroded out of our culture, society, and race as they began, the system we created, directly attacking the indigenous teachers, historians, storytellers. Those stories are metaphors so that we can go in there ourselves. Every story is a little different. The Mayans, the Inca, they all had a different way of getting to that place of wisdom, be it they're creating a library or looking to the stars. As they began to take away that frequency that was held by those indigenous flame keepers, we lost our ability to do that generation after generation after generation. And now people like me and you are bringing this frequency back, and that frequency is heart-based. In that heart-based sacred neutral, I offer no justice, no judgment. I am in remedy and resolve, and the information that I bring forth is in alignment with the observance of Earth, reading the record neutrally and observing it neutrally. And since we live in a toxic world of shame, blame, and guilt, materialism, consumerism, depression, regression, obsession, as well as media-based programs that are technologically designed to affect you at a DNA light body level, and you have no idea that it's affecting you that way.
Use me some examples of that. I think would be really helpful.
Laugh tracks on comedy shows that have laughter from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but there's no present laugh. And there's hundreds of different people laughing, not in a unity laugh, but separate laughs that an engineer has created.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there is a rapid destruction of true comedy, which puts us in a false environment of false energy. And then you have language on top of that is designed to enforce materialism, consumerism, followed by a laugh track that is totally off. You no longer see true comedy, feel true comedy, and will laugh at things where somebody's in pain.